This report changes everything for the Devils. Tom Fitzgerald loaded up early. It wasn't going to be a problem in the future. Huge prospect update implications. Let's talk. Welcome, Devil fans. Glad to have you here today. Hope you'll stick around. Hit the subscribe button as we continue into the offseason and talk all things Devils. So, some news on Devils prospect Antoine Silayev. Checked in with Antoine Silayev's agent and confirmed that the plan is for the defenseman to play in North America for the 26-27 season. Look, so when you look at Antoine Silayev, I mean, obviously, Devils took him early, 10th overall in 2024. You look at his stats, I mean, look, he's a young defenseman. Nothing jumps off the page in terms of, goals, assists, points. This is a guy you got to go ahead and watch. You can see with the way that he plays, he's a two-way defenseman. I mean, his size, 6'7", 207, maybe even going to put on some more weight. He's got a good defensive game. Offensively, though, it's there too. You go ahead, you look, you see his skating. He is a good skater, actually very good for his size. I mean, you don't go 10th overall in a draft if you're not going to have good skating. I mean, that's just how the NHL is nowadays. Skating, very, very important. I mean, teams, the way that they're playing nowadays, I mean, it's all about your transitional game. How quickly can you get the puck up ice, and what can you do in transition? Defensemen, they're taught to think offense. How can we get the puck up ice? Not just stop it in your own zone, break down the play. No, you got to go get it up ice. Someone like Antoine Silayev going 10th overall, yeah, he can do that. So, looking at the numbers, I know you see 12 points, 63 games. Look, young defenseman playing in the KHL. He's 19 years old. I don't think he should be expecting, these monster points. I know there's more scoring in the KHL, or guys put up, crazier numbers in the KHL. Young defenseman, it's very rare. You don't usually see it. 12 points, 63 games doesn't jump out at you. You go ahead, watch him play. There is offense there. But Tom Fitzgerald, you look at what he's done in drafts when he's had top picks. Tom Fitzgerald has picked 4 times inside the top 10. He's gotten defenseman 3 different times. You look back, obviously, Luke Hughes, 4th overall. Yeah, that felt right. Then you go to the next draft, and you see, well, the consensus number 1 overall pick is still on the board. He goes with a guy who's ranked probably go somewhere from 5 to 8. He goes with him at number 2 in Simone Nemec. 2024, I mean, obviously they didn't have a first-round pick in 2023, Antoine Silayev. Tom Fitzgerald takes defensemen, he takes them early. It's clear what he's tried to do with this Devils team. I mean, you go ahead and see some of the moves that he's made, obviously, earlier on when he acquired Jonas Siegenthaler, when he moved off Ty Smith, who wasn't one of his draft picks, for, a John Marino. He has gone out and he has gotten an ample amount of defensemen. He doesn't want to have a problem. I mean, we even saw in 2024 when guys like John Marino, Jonas Siegenthaler went down. What did that spark? 10th overall Antoine Silayev. He likes his defenseman. He likes going defenseman early. I mean, you rarely will see the number 1 pick or a consensus number 1 pick on the board, and you still go defenseman, especially when just prior you went with Luke Hughes, 4th overall. You just signed Dougie Hamilton to a 7-year contract, and you still went defenseman. I mean, it just kind of shows what Tom Fitzgerald thinks at drafts. He likes his defenseman. He wants defenseman. Antoine Silayev, 10th overall. Now, with Silayev, and, planning to come over and play in the NHL or play in North America in 26-27. That's why I kind of wanted to stop for a second when I said NHL, because I don't see NHL year 1. It's going to be a year in the AHL. And when you do things the way Tom Fitzgerald has done things, by, trading for defensemen, drafting them in the top 10, you can wait. You don't have to go do it right away. You don't have to, take Antoine Silayev over and be like, well, we used a first round 10th overall pick on him. Let's get him in the lineup. No, you got time. I mean, you go and look at the Devils' defense, and I mean, obviously, you see kind of Luke Hughes right there, the elephant in the room, RFA right now. Like I said, not too worried about them getting a long-term deal done. I think it gets done. I think it's in that 7-year, 8-year, $8 million, $9.5 million range. But you look at the Devils' defense. It's pretty set. I mean, obviously, Brenden Dillon is going to be up in a year. That's probably where he would come in and replace, play on that third pairing. But the Devils' defense is pretty set. I mean, you got Jonas Siegenthaler. He still has 2 years left. Dougie Hamilton, Brett Pesce, Johnathan Kovacevic just got his new contract. He feels set with defense. Now, obviously, you do have to sign Luke Hughes. But the first year that, Antoine Silayev is in New Jersey, he's probably not going to play in New Jersey. You're going to give him time. You're going to get guys in the lineup like Seamus, Casey, Simone Nemec, with not even starting with these guys, with your top 6 already. You've already got those guys that you got to find a way to plug in the lineup to make it work. So when he's coming over in 2026 and 2027, I don't see a scenario or a world where he's playing on the Devils. Now, a game or two at the end of the season, potentially, but is he going to be, a starter or somebody who is in playoff games? I don't see it. I mean, when you just look at the Devils' contracts, the Devils, how they are set up, what they need to do, it doesn't really seem like Antoine Silayev would play with New Jersey year one. So I don't see that, but exciting news to see that, he's looking to come over. Because when you draft players who are in the KHL, it's sometimes going to be a little rocky, a little bumpy. I mean, you had Matvei Michkov, who should have been the clear number 2 overall pick in the draft, fall all the way to 7. Because you know what? Kind of told teams, I'm not going to play for you. I mean, it's a really different NHL, nowadays, even than it was just, 5-7 years ago. You have players saying, we're not going to play for you, or agents telling teams that he's not going to play for you, he doesn't want to play for you, don't draft him, or requesting trades, demanding trades when you haven't even played an NHL game yet. I mean, we didn't see that back then. Some of these players are, taking a little bit, I don't want to say advantage completely, but they have a little bit more power, a little bit more leverage. You didn't see 14th, 13th overall picks going, well, I'm not going to play there, trade me. Interesting. Antoine Silayev, 10th overall pick, seems like he's excited, wants to come over and play for New Jersey. I mean, he's coming over 2026, 2027, learn the American game, and then, eventually play with the Devils. Probably looking on that third pairing. You can work them in. I mean, that's what happens when you draft early, develop defensemen. You can work a player like that in. I know earlier today I did a video talking about the Devils prospect pool. It's okay. That's 19th. That's okay. You're contending. It should probably be toward the bottom half of the league. It doesn't need to be, where you have your first overall picks. I mean, you take, players under age 25. Well, Devils are in a much different position. But you just take off, regular prospects you're trying to develop. Yeah, 19 might sound a little bit more right. But when you have a guy like Antoine Silayev leading the way, I mean, that's a true, player who can come into the NHL and, be productive. Develop him correctly. Let him take time. He's going to make mistakes. You might have to see him on the third pairing to start his NHL career. I think it's a little bit different. Simone Nemec going 2nd overall when he was kind of slotted to go 5 to 8, and Shane Wright was still on the board. A little bit more pressure. Antoine Silayev coming to probably what it was assuming to be a better team, is going to be able to work his way into the lineup. He's not going to be, looked at, and if he makes a mistake, it's all of a sudden a problem. No, you have other defensemen, other good defensemen who you can work with. So I think Antoine Silayev comes into a different situation, comes into a good one in New Jersey. Let me know what you think in the comments. Where do you want to see Antoine Silayev? Where do you want to see him start his NHL career over in America? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you guys all really soon.